Matthew Barnaby and Jemele Hill and Skip here to pick our plays of the week, and you've been voting in the chat room as well. Thank you for doing that. And let's get right to it, shall we? You okay with that?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Here you go. Play number one.
Oh, not again.
It is the greatest moment in mankind history.
Wait, can we see it again?
History.
Can we see it again?
We'll see it again. Yeah, we'll see it again. LeBron, and there's Stan say, what are you going to do? You know, what are you going to do? He's a tight end playing basketball. And that gave the Cavs a Game 2 win. In the chat room, it was interesting. I thought one of the more interesting chats we've had in a while on the vote, one of the chatters said, you know, I'm giving this an incomplete grade. Because if the Cavs, it's a 10. If they don't, it's a 2.
It's a good comment.
I thought it was. So that's incomplete. So no viewer vote on that. Where are you guys?
That's ridiculous. One of my favorite. I'm not the biggest basketball fan in the world, but Michael Jordan's years ago was one of my favorites. This is a perfect 10. Game buzzer. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Doesn't get any better than that.
I can't give it quite that, but I'll give it a 7.
A 7?
Yeah, you know, and part of it is you do have to give some accountability to the defense as well. I mean, they weren't quite set. Even Stan Van Gundy took responsibility for putting them in a bad situation.
That's tough.
I'm rubbing off on her.
Yeah, I know, because I asked you that.
He was shaking his head in disbelief of what he just saw.
Well, probably because he felt like he drew up the wrong defense.
I will say this, though. If that was Kobe, it'd be a 9. If it was Michael Jordan, it'd be a 500.
Oh, well,
you know what?
We know that.
You know what?
We know
if
that.
it was Michael Jordan, it'd be a 5 because he did it every other week, Jay. And that's the point here. Even the great Reggie Miller said on TNT right after the shot was hit, if I had that open a look, I'd knock it down every time. That's the first time in 6 years that he's done something of that magnitude, and it's the greatest shot ever made. It's a 7.
All right. Well, give us that's fair. That's fair. Okay, 24 is our score then. All right, let's go on to play number 2. And the theme this week is obviously, well, it's great moments, great comebacks. And this one was unbelievable. Syracuse was down 3 with about 3.5 to play. And they came back to make it 9-7 and then 9-8. And then that game tire. And Nims was not only the leading scorer, but also just had a huge goal to get it to overtime. 4 seconds to go. And here it is. There's your tying goal right there. And they would go on to win in overtime. So let's rate that. Where are we?
I'm from Canada. That's our national sport.
It is.
And I'm going to give it a 4. Are you kidding?
Wow.
What do you mean? He rolled it in.
No, situation, though. Situation.
The other one was into the buzzer. I don't. No way. That's a 4. No.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, I'm
Cross, come
surprised
on.
by that.
Yeah.
But you know what?
And it's my national sport.
So it comes
right?
with a lot of weight. Yeah, you would know.
Well, I have to
He wasn't
say,
getting beaten down. It wasn't. Just come on. Let's go.
hard to
Move on.
impress
Move
right
on.
here.
There's a method to his madness, I think.
Oh, I'm
he wants
sure.
LeBron to win.
Well, I will say this. I gave that a 9 because you're talking about an array of shots. The moment that it was for a championship. LeBron's shot was just for Game 3.
To me, yeah.
What is that?
I'll
Or
take
Game
a
2,
shot
rather.
every-
Sorry.
All right.
Wow, Matthew lacrossed me up with that call. Come on. I mean, I don't pretend to know this sport very well, but from what I see, I got to go 9 on this because just the magnitude of the moment and the comeback. I don't know how difficult the shot it was because I just don't know enough, but it's got to be a 9.
All right.
A difficult shot. He rolled it in. It did roll it in.
It's
You would
like,
know.
because of Matthew's vote. He's now trailing. That shot is now trailing LeBron James because LeBron has 24 and the plus is
perfect.
22. So I'm getting where you're going with this. All right, our final play of the week. Here you go.
Oh, well,
it's the Cleveland Indians.
Where this stands with you, Jay.
Yeah, no, I don't get to vote. They were down 10-0 in the second inning. Or in the fourth inning, I believe. 10-0 in the fourth. They scored 7 in the ninth to win 11-10. They just refused to quit. And let's rate that one, Matthew. Big comeback.
I was in Ohio. LG 23 was my son's team this year. Knocking him out, coming back. I'm going to give this a 9.5. Not quite as good as LeBron's, but it was a great
come on,
comeback.
give it a 10.
Not
Give it a 10.
Not a playoff game. But
We need a 10.
I'm not going to give it a 5 because I want you guys to have your chance. If you don't want LeBron to win, here you go. Here's your
Now,
chance.
surely
this is your
you think
chance.
this is a 10.
No, I do. I actually think
Thank
this is
you.
a 10. And like he said,
now we got
Because you want to get there.
No, he didn't influence me. But honestly, the difficulty to do that in the final inning, that is ridiculous. I mean, that's something you don't see very often. I realize it was just made, not as big of a moment as Syracuse, but still. The level of difficulty on that is much higher than what we've seen.
It doesn't happen every day.
I completely agree. And because this had a double Vanderbilt subplot.
Oh, now we know.
David
Now we
Price
know.
starts, Jeremy Sowers finishes.
Yeah.
It's got to be a 10.
See,
Jay.
is that a
so that brings
there we
us to
go.
a grand total of
29.5.
Yeah.
So now this is a historical moment in the history of all sports. Because that means the Indians finish first and the Cavs finish second.
Well, that's the
Cleveland
way
is
it should
1-2 in this week's voting.
I hope you guys put that in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or something.
Well, it's
I
probably
was
on
going to
its
give it
way.
a 0 just so I got the Sherlock. But
All right, nothing beats this. I'm not even going to let you guys vote because we know it's all, it's a 10. It's the cheese wheel chase-off. It happens in England every year.
Hey, did that guy fall?
Watch the guy in the yellow pants, Matthew.
Oh my
That
God!
is classic.
that looked like GMs running away from me when I tried to sign on their teams at the end of my career. Just get me out of here. I want out. No chance.
Isn't it much easier being a television analyst anyway?
Yeah. I bet some of LeBron's fans would like to do that to
They
Skip.
would like to.
Unbelievable. Look at medical attention is being administered.
Oh,
You got
man.
guys being carried. And you know what? They'll all come back and chase that same ball of cheese next year.
I hope they don't eat it, right?
I think that's part of the deal. You do have to eat it. Skip's going next year, and he's the odds-on favorite to win.
You know, the ratings of the show just went through the roof.
As long as you're on, we're okay.
Yep.